friend and sleepover buddy for you, and to maintain that special, unique bond that only a son can have. She would want her children, Sue, Mike, and I, and her grandchildren, Allie, Melanie, Sydney, and Christian, to forge onward in her memory, reaching for their highest goals, remembering always that you can do anything you want to do or be anyone you want to be, and continuing to make her proud. She was known to embellish our accomplishments a little bit. We could all talk about Mom forever and it still wouldn't be enough. I think it can be best summarized by the single word, family. As our dear Elena said it so well, after being with us in Mom's final hours, she texted us this message. Your family has taught me the meaning of family and love. Despite your differences, you stick together and are always there in a time of need. With that, we carry on Mom's legacy in our hearts, in our families, in our friends, in our careers, and in our lives. That, my friends, is the master plan. After all, she's been saying it for years.
I was going to speak. I had nothing to say. I'd said my goodbyes to my mom already, and I was okay. And then yesterday, when I was in the kitchen, something came to me. And I grabbed my iPad and I sat down at the table, and in 15 minutes, I knew I had something I needed to share. My parents taught me many things. But foremost in my mind right now are two very important traits. My dad taught me patience. My mom taught me to be a leader. Being a leader in my mom's and my world doesn't come with ranks or titles, because leaders inspire. To those of you who have ever known or been touched or inspired by my mom, it's now my turn to inspire you to know that her light keeps shining with all of us. At 3 a.m. on Thanksgiving morning, my dad and I finally left the hospital to go to his house to get some sleep. We knew time was now the only obstacle that stood in the way of her forever peace. Not being able to measure that time and needing some much coveted rest, my dad and I left for his house, no more than 10 minutes away from the hospital. Sharon said she'd call us when we needed to return. I slept on the couch and my dad in his recliner until about 6 a.m. we received notice that if we wanted to return to the hospital, now was the time. I knelt down next to my dad and I asked him if he was ready. Slowly sat up in his recliner. Slowly put on his shoes. I was prepared to walk out that door in seconds flat. But my dad first walked to his room to exchange his oxygen for his portable. I started the car and came back in the house to find him still in his room. As he walked out, not quite ready to leave, he stopped at the kitchen counter. My rapid heartbeat and rushed spirit were screaming, "Let's go! Mom is dying. Don't we have to get there in time to give our one more last goodbye?" But my dad's patient spirit and soft, gentle tones said otherwise. He paused as he stood, with his arms extended, palms resting on the kitchen counter. He looked at me and said, "I sometimes like to stop and rest here before I go any further." slowed. And that pranayama, that breath of life, calmed me when I realized we weren't about to race out that door. I stopped and waited, feeling the vibrations of that patient energy that my dad was sharing with me as I absorbed his next few unforgettable words. He looked at me. He said, "No hurry. She's not going anywhere." Dad, I love you, and I thank you for giving me the inspiration to share this sentiment. Let's speak forever in our hearts. Those words to remind us that Mom, Grandma, Judy, she's always by our side.
Beautiful and heartfelt words.
We find ourselves this time of the year in the midst of changing seasons. The days are much shorter and the temperatures are dropping. The season teaches us that there is a cycle and a rhythm to life. We see that life is really a series of deaths and resurrections. One follows the other, just like the seasons. The family has chosen this second reading to remind us that in the midst of our sadness, in the midst of our times, we have cause to hope. Judy's grandson, Christian, will read the next reading from Ecclesiastes.
There is an appointed time for everything, and a time for every affair under the heavens. A time to be born and a time to die. A time to plant and a time to uproot the plant. A time to kill and a time to heal. A time to tear down and a time to build. A time to weep and a time to laugh. A time to mourn and a time to dance. A time to scatter stones and a time to gather them. A time to embrace and a time to be far from embraces. A time to seek and a time to lose. A time to keep and a time to cast away. A time to rend and a time to sow. A time to be silent and a time to speak. A time to love and a time to hate. A time of war and a time of peace. What advantage has the worker from his toil? I have considered the task which God has appointed for men to be busy about. He has made everything appropriate to its time, and has put the timeless into their hearts, without men's ever discovering, from beginning to end, the work which God has done.
Before Brittany shares with us a closing song and we take leave, I'd just like to ask all of you, if in the days and weeks ahead you have a memory of Judy that comes to your mind, write it down and send it to the family. Let it be a reminder to them that your thoughts and prayers will be with them in the weeks and months ahead. Let us pray. God, our loving Father, you called Judy express our thanks for the privilege to know her. We thank you for the way she impacted our lives. And we thank you for your grace that sees us through this difficult time. Keep us strong in our faith